Hello, my name's Shell and this is a 3-week catch-up of my Slimming World journey, so welcome to my channel. This is going to cover weeks 10, 11 and 12 of my journey. Last time I did a video I said there's nothing going to get in my way now. This has got plenty of time, I'll be able to do them every week, and of course every time you say that something very unexpected comes along and throws you off course, and I couldn't get it done. But anyway, here I am with a 3-week catch-up. And the last couple of videos I did I thought were a bit gloomy, we were having some hard times, and I did have a couple of gains, so I'm very pleased this time to have a much cheerier outlook on life and the Slimming World journey. So I had put on, the last time I did a video, I put on 4 pounds after a very stressful week, and I was determined when I went back to class, because I didn't miss any. When I went back to class on the Tuesday, I was determined that I wasn't going to carry on putting on. I went straight back on plan, perfectly on plan, and that's where I've stayed. So it's been a really good 3 weeks, and the first thing I wanted to say is how keeping a food diary has made a big difference to my way of thinking about my breakfasts. I always used to think keeping a food diary was really just so that you could see how many sins you've had, write down the sins, and make sure you haven't gone over, which is important obviously. But what I have found is that looking back over my food diaries, I began to notice a certain pattern, and this happened because I ran out of oats before my shopping was due to arrive, just about a couple of days. So I had no oats for breakfast, all I had in was fruit. So those 2 mornings I had fruit, and I think I had a handful of nuts, and fruit and nuts for breakfast, used nuts as my healthy beet choice. And I found that I had really good days. I wasn't hungry, I managed to get to dinner time with no problems, and I just found the days much easier. So when I look back over my food diary, I've noticed, about a month back, a similar thing had happened. I hadn't had oats in, so I just had fruit and some nuts for breakfast. And on those days I noticed as well that I'd done really well. So I decided to have an experiment and stop eating oats for breakfast. Everyone knows oats are healthy, everybody eats oats for breakfast and they're really good for you. But I've found for me that the minute I eat oats, within about half an hour I am craving food. I don't know what it is about them, but I noticed it on all my food diaries. Every time I had oats for breakfast, I had uncontrollable hunger in the morning, and I was often thrown right off track. So I decided to stop eating oats. Maybe sometimes I'll have them as a little snack before bed, which seems okay, but if I have them in the morning, it's bad news. So I stopped doing that, and since I've been eating fruit for breakfast, I've had really good days. I've not had a bad day in the last 3 weeks since I've stopped eating oats for breakfast. So I just wanted to say that perhaps people have all sorts of different cravings and different trigger foods, and you might not even realise that one of your trigger foods is one. I certainly didn't realise with the oats. I've always thought that they were the healthiest breakfast, and and that's what most people tend to eat, but obviously it doesn't agree with me. So I just wanted to say, perhaps if you have struggles and there's times, days that you have bad days, it might be worth keeping a food diary, looking back over it. And the importance of the food diary might not be just for the one day to keep you on track, but look back and see if on all the bad days, if there is anything that's consistently throwing you out, because that's what I found for me. So that's the first thing I stopped doing, is I stopped having oats for breakfast. And I've been trying to cut down a lot on processed foods, especially the fake vegan meats, because again I don't think they're helping me at all. I'm not sure why, but when I buy, I often buy. There's a Vivero is a certain make, and a few others where they have sort of like little chicken bits or meaty bits. And I can't stop eating them. As soon as I open the packet, I can't just put a handful in the meal that I'm eating. I'm compelled to eat it all. Same with burgers and all these nuggets and things. I'm finding it very difficult not to eat them. So I decided to stop eating those as well, and I've been having much more just plain home cooked food. So generally I've been having either a salad and brown rice for dinner, or a salad and some tofu at dinner time. I usually have that one I'll have for a few days and then the other one. And at tea time I've just been having, you know, sort of stir fries and pasta, or rice and beans and curries, all homemade things, you know, no sort of shop bought stuff. And I've found again life has been really easy. So the last 3 weeks have been fantastic, and the results I got reflected that, because the first week when I went back I lost £3, which I was really grateful for because it was only one away from what I'd put on the week before. The second week I went back I lost £4, and that week I won Slimmer of the Week, which was fantastic, and it was quite a big group. It was a huge bag full of fruit and veg. It was lovely. And then yesterday I went and I'd lost £2 and I won Slimmer of the Week again. So in the last 3 weeks I've lost £9, which is brilliant going. It takes my weight loss now to 15.5 pounds. So this week I got my Stone Award. With the £2 that I lost, it took me to the 15.5 pounds. So Stone Award, absolutely fantastic, and that's in just 12 weeks. I'm so pleased with that, because that means my average weight loss is more than a pound, well over more than a pound a week. So the week coming up is going to be a bit difficult. I'm going home to my family in Cumbria for the weekend. Now, my family are very supportive when you're trying to lose weight. They never try and make you eat things that you don't want, or force things on you that you shouldn't have. Once I'm to say, you know, I'm trying to lose weight, they will be very good. So I'm going on Saturday and staying till Monday, and then my parents are driving me back to North Wales from Cumbria, and they're staying for a day. So normally we have a takeaway on a Saturday night, so I'm going to, this time, instead of having the takeaway, I'm going to take my own food with me. I can just warm up in the microwave. I'll probably take some rice and maybe a layer of leeks and then beans on the top. So a nice easy meal can just be warmed up. My dad can just put it in the microwave. And then the Sunday is going to be Sunday dinner, and I have no idea what's on the menu, because it's basically, you had to make a choice before you went, and everyone else could choose whether they wanted a fish Christmas dinner, turkey Christmas dinner, or beef Christmas dinner, say, and then there was the vegan option. Now what that is, I have no idea. They don't tend to. Last year when we went to this place, they didn't make a vegan Christmas dinner. I got curry and chips, which I thought was a bit, you know, I don't know why they can't make a vegan Christmas dinner, because it's only basically the vegetables and the potatoes. I would be quite happy with that, and gravy. I felt a bit out of place really, having curry and chips, and everyone else was having Christmas dinner. But it was a vegan meal, so I didn't complain. But I have no idea what I'm getting this year. So whatever it is, it'll just come, and my only choice is to try not and eat too much of it. If it's a fattening meal, try and just eat maybe half of it and leave the rest. And then Monday we're going to TGI Fridays, which is another difficult place I find for Slimming World if you're a vegan, because the only really main courses are a very sort of fattening burger with cheese on and chips and all that sort of meal. And the other meal tends to be, well, they've got two other meals which are vegetables, but they can tell they're thick with oil. I'm not sure whether they can do it without the oil yet, or whether that's sort of integral. I don't know whether they just get the things ready-made and heat them up. I've no idea yet, so I'm going to have to try and do my best there. And also I always have a cocktail there with my mum, and it's a Christmas tradition, you know, we sit and choose and pour over the cocktail list, and I'm not prepared to not do that, so that will be more sins. But I'm thinking really, if they're the only two meals, and they're the only two meals between now and Christmas that could be problematic, I don't think it shouldn't be too bad. I should be able to, maybe not have a loss, but I should be able to have a maintain with those two meals out, and you know, perhaps there might be a couple of other temptations, I don't know, but my plan is at the minute to try and stick to Slimming World apart from those two meals, and on those two meals not to go mad. I mean, normally at TGI Fridays I'd have the whole lot. We'd have sweet potato fries, say, for the starter, and then it would be the fries and the burger, and then they do an Oreo cookie dessert thing with all sorts of vegan cream and chocolate biscuits. So I'm going to avoid all that, definitely. But whether I have a loss next week will be another thing. But as I say, our consultant gave us all a piece of paper at the beginning of December, and it had every day on with 3 boxes for each day, and the idea was we had to write in the box which meals were going to be problematic over Christmas, so that we could see right in front of us how it was going to shape up. Because a lot of people, I noticed, and people have said on YouTube, on other videos, that the attendance is down now, and I've noticed it in our group that the attendance is only about half. So I think a lot of people have stopped coming now, and they won't come till after Christmas, which I wouldn't be happy with doing, because if I was to do that, I would put, well, maybe a stone or 2 on over that period. So you know, it's just I think it's just a case of doing your best and looking at these meals. You can see, I mean, a lot of people filled them out, and they only had really 3 meals between now and Christmas that were what they would say that might be off plan, you know, Christmas meals out or meals at relatives. And as our consultant was saying, if you look at it like that, all you can see is these 3 meals there. If you were to even go all out for those 3 meals, you probably wouldn't put that much on. You might only put £1 on, you know, it wouldn't be a stone gain just for 3 meals. So I think it's worth keeping that in mind, which I will be doing. I've got 2 meals coming up now, and that are going to be pretty much off plan. And then it's, for me anyway, it's going to be until Christmas Day then where I'll go off plan again. So I'm hoping to have a maintain next week, and I'm hoping to be able to do a video next week as well. I will be going to class, to group anyway. And I hope everyone else is having a good lead up to Christmas and at least doing your best. I mean, some people don't want to be on plan for December, and that's fine as long as you can accept the gain. I've done that many years before, and I'm not going to do it this year. So I am going to stick to plan apart from these 2 meals, Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. They're my times off, and the rest of the time I'm going to be sticking to plan. Because I'm not going to do without my Christmas pudding. That's my favourite thing of Christmas. All the Christmas meals, Christmas pudding with lashings of sauce on, and I'm not going to stint on that. Christmas Day will be fine, because the meal is going to be pretty much Slimming World anyway. We'll be having Slimming World roast potatoes. Everyone will be having the same because they all like them anyway. We'll be having all the vegetables, which will be nearly all speed food. I'll be cooking something to go on the plates of the other people that will be here, which I won't have. There'll be some sort of burgery type meat substitute, which I'm not really bothered about, so I'll do without that. And I will probably have some stuffing, because I love stuffing, so I'll probably have a stuffing bowl and some gravy. That'll be the only sins on my Christmas dinner. And then the Christmas pud and sauce will be completely off plan. I'll be having a third of a Christmas pudding and a third of a carton of sauce, so that'll be lovely. But apart from that, I'm going to stick to plan and see if I can manage to get through Christmas without putting loads of weight on like I normally do. So that's it. And I hope everybody else has got a plan, whatever the plan is. I hope you've got a plan, and I hope you're feeling happy about it and in control, because that's the main thing for me, is feeling that I'm in control of things. Once I lose control, well, anything goes then. But no, I hope everyone's feeling that they're on top of things. So I'm going to say goodbye now, and I'll let you know next week how I managed to get on over this tempting weekend, and I hope everyone else is managing to lose weight and feeling better. I know I'm feeling much better. My clothes are starting to fit now, whereas I was getting my coat zipped up was quite a struggle. I was having to try and tuck clothes in and really breathe in and trying to do my zip up, and I felt a bit embarrassed putting it on in front of people. But now the zip's going up fine. I've got quite a bit of bagginess around the tummy area. It's going quite baggy now, and my pants are fitting better, and going up this weekend, I remember talking to you about the funeral that I went to and how nothing fitted, and I felt ashamed, I felt really bad. But I'm quite happy going up this weekend. I've got a pair of pants now that will fit me comfortably. I've got a top that will fit, and I'm feeling quite happy about going, and I'm feeling very contented. So I'm very, very pleased that I've put the effort in the last 3 weeks and lost some weight. It made me feel a lot better. Anyway, take care all, I'll see you soon, and thanks for all your videos. I always love to watch them, and it's really nice to see how everyone's getting on. You can always write in the comments below and let me know how you're doing. I'm always interested to know how everyone's getting on. Take care. Bye.